Hello everyone, Adam here, and today I am talking about Battletoads. This will of course be a short impressions as always. For the full review, check out the link in the description below. Now Battletoads has a long and profound history among older gamers. Those who experienced these games back on the NES and SNES days knows that it was known for harsh difficulty but amazing beat 'em up gameplay. After decades of being limited to just cameos and guest appearances, the Battletoads are back with a charming and simple adventure that is pretty fun to play and even watch, with a story that resembles a Saturday morning cartoon with genuinely funny jokes and moments. The issue is that despite the entire story being incredible, which is really shocking for me, it is destroyed by a major audio issue on the Xbox One where I played the game. The voices would simply be muted or would remain so low that you couldn't hear it. Again, I downloaded this game on the PC afterwards, and the issue is not present there, so it's just completely ridiculous that it's present on the Xbox One. It's almost like Microsoft is starting to run this, well, let's see what major glitch we can have in our Xbox One version of our game. For Ori and the Will of the Wisp, the game suffered from frame rate issues and achievement delays. For Gears 5, it was that saving problem, and again, achievement delays. And now with Battletoads, thankfully the achievements pop this time, but now they suffer from audio issues. I mean, seriously, what the hell? It's like I was playing Days Gone again with those audio issues. At least with there, the audio worked and it was just desynced, which took weeks to resolve. But here on Battletoads, you can't even listen to anything because of these stupid problems. But anyway, that's enough of me venting about an issue that should not be present in the final game. And let's talk about the story. So the story of Battletoads is them attempting to reclaim their glory after being trapped in a simulator for the last 20 so years. They believe they were going through adventures and living in fame, but when they are discovered by a worker, that all comes crashing down. They take on basic jobs, but Rash isn't having it. He convinced his brothers or friends, they never really confirmed this and whether they're family or not, but it does become a running joke. But he does convince Pimple and Zitz to join him on another adventure to reclaim that fame and glory. The story is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, with a lot of comedic moments that depict moments of brutality, tyranny, and mass murder, but in that Looney Tunes way. The Battletoads all have unique personas that play off each other extremely well. Pimple is sensitive but has a lot of anger dwelling inside him despite being extremely large. Rash is slow but dedicated to his goals, and Zitz is the leader who often lets his ego go haywire, but will do anything for his brothers or friends. Again, it's never really confirmed. Even the Dark Queen is here, and she plays off the Toads with her wacky nature and really tyrannical look on the world. She wants to conquer everything, and it's clear she's using the Toads in order to further her own goals, but eventually she starts to grow and become part of the team in a way that she starts to care for them. It's really well done, and I like it. So all the write-in, cartoonish animations, and overall presentation is absolutely amazing, with brilliant uses of colors in both the cutscenes and gameplay. When fighting, the Toads will transform their arms into deadly weapons, similar to the original games. That being said, the story does come crashing down because of the audio issues that I mentioned. But combat is satisfying. In terms of gameplay, the beat-em-up action is extremely standard, but it's done very well. You use a standard combo by hitting the X button, and then it will finish off with a heavy attack. You can press Y mid-combo for a unique heavy attack to the Toad that you are controlling. Each of the Toads play differently, with Rash being the more balanced choice, Pimple is slow but he's a heavy hitter, and Zitz is faster but lacks strength. You can dash with any of the Toads, which is great for evading attacks, which are telegraphed by icons, but you could turn this off if you want a bit more challenge. There are 3 difficulty options, and as far as I can tell, you can change the difficulty mid-game. You have to pick a new save slot, which is a bit annoying, but what can you do? And the toads also have access to their tongues for grappling enemies or pulling them towards enemies. You can spit bubblegum in order to paralyze an enemy temporarily, and you can use your tongue in order to dart into the background for some minor platforming challenges or if enemies are in the background. You can consume flies to regenerate health that are provided after the end of long battles, but if a toad dies, you will have to wait out a respawn timer before they can be revived with half health, which allows you to continue playing. There are plenty of checkpoints, so if you die, you'll be simply respawned back to the previous fight, but damage does often take a lot of health away from you, and recovery animations are a bit slow, so it can be punishing when you get hit, but the game does encourage you to avoid attacks overall. To break up the beat 'em up action, minigames are peppered throughout. This includes in-game levels such as hacking and navigating a spark through another point. It's just a basic puzzle that most games have. They're not too hard and they're pretty simple. The other more fleshed out minigames include space combat, sledding, and even the turbo bikes. The developers have shifted perspective to the back to make these sections more doable than the original, unlike the infamous NES days where these sections required a great deal of memorization in order to get through. It's still a challenge, don't get me wrong, one hit and you're dead, but there are plenty of checkpoints, and now you can see what's properly coming towards you so you can better evade it. Hidden throughout are collectibles, but as far as I can tell, they don't do anything, and you are graded on your performance in each level. This includes combos, collectibles, and time completed. It's just for vanity purposes and collecting achievements, but they don't unlock any type of new cosmetics, skins, or anything like that. The audio issue isn't the only major problem with Battletoads though. It completely lacks online multiplayer. That's right, this heavily cooperative game that encourages you to play with your friends does not include online multiplayer for some reason. There's local cooperative, but this absolutely boggles my mind that a game does not include online options where its central focus is cooperative action. Maybe the developers just didn't have the knowledge of how to construct online matchmaking, or maybe Microsoft just didn't want to put the funding into it because this game has been extensively delayed. It was confirmed back in 2018, and now it released this month, but yeah, it doesn't have online multiplayer for some reason. I really just can't understand why. When it comes to the actual game, the lowest point of the title comes in Act 3, where you have to perform platforming in order to progress. Here you take on specific platforming puzzle challenges, and they are so average that they become painful to play. Think the most basic puzzles and platforming challenges you can imagine, and that's what these levels are. I had to put myself on autopilot to get through these. They are just so... they're not bad, but they're just so average and lack creativity or any type of flair that the actual game has in terms of its colorful narrative, fun beat 'em up action. This just seems like they decided we need to pad this game out even more because it is a short game, about 3 to 4 hours, but they decided we need to put these sections in because reasons, and it shows. Like I said, it's just so painfully average that you'll want to turn yourself off while you play this, or you'll have to just force yourself, like literally shove yourself into this section as much as possible until you reach the finish line. It may seem that I really hated this game, but in reality, I actually really enjoyed it. I'm shocked of how much I liked the story, and once I replayed the game on PC and actually heard something, I found the story to be just thoroughly entertaining and pushed me through those annoying platforming sections, and there was a lot of great gameplay here. I did wish that it had online multiplayer to play with friends. I mean, I just don't understand why they did not include that option. Again, it could have been time, budget, a lot of things, but nevertheless, it does seem that Microsoft just wanted to shove this title out as quickly as possible, similar to Crackdown 3, but unlike that game, which was just a combination of mediocre platforming and open world objectives, here it's actually a faithful revival of the Battletoads franchise with a lot of positive aspects that could be fleshed out for future games. I just really wish that they released it in a finished state, like decide, hey, this game has issues, we need to fix it, or just release it on PC for now while you wait for and work on the Xbox One version, because if you're going to play this on the Xbox One, you're going to be missing out on the best parts of this title. So that's what I think of Battletoads. It is a great, short, and budget-friendly revival of this acclaimed franchise. For $20 if you decide to purchase it, I can find some enjoyment here, but I would recommend you get it on Game Pass. Nevertheless, if you do play this game, play it on PC because, again, the Xbox One version, until they fix those audio issues, is just not worth considering. But if you do play on PC, also take into consideration that mouse and keyboard have not been optimized well, and you should definitely play with a control pad. So, there's Battletoads. It's a good game, it's just buried by all these major preventable problems that could have been resolved with some more development time. I really hope that the series continues because it does have a lot of potential, especially when it comes to this wacky Looney Tunes atmosphere. Maybe build a show out of it. I would watch it. So if you like this video, leave a like, consider subscribing, and comment what you think about Battletoads. Till next time everyone, stay awesome.